Your scenario is reaching an end soon. Just do as you've done before. Although the energy you've collected will not be supplied to the outside, that doesn't mean your work was for nothing or this place no longer serves a purpose. My goal? Are you finally asking me now after all this time? Of course it's the same as yours. The conclusion of the script we have. If not, I wouldn't have a reason to go through all this trouble just to help you. I'll do my best. I'll advise you to not be so languid. Is it okay if I do this? Hey, don't worry about it too much. You won't find a professional like me often. My greetings, eh? The moments I have made you witness are no longer mere scenes of the past. They could be the present, or even from the future. There are people who once loved you, and there are employees that think they are happy here. There is also Angela, a cold imitation of Carmen. Is this not the heaven that has burrowed into your mind? The place you have been yearning Marsala for? In this place, you are no less mighty than God. Even death finds no meaning here. So I plead with you, will you not be satisfied already? We are so desperately continuing to exist, even if it means living like we are now. What right do you have to turn everything to ash? Furthermore, it is clear this story has no need for an end. Think about it. All the work you have done, is it truly a consequence of your own choices? You never were ready. You were not prepared to accept her death, so you created a being wholly shrouded in a sense of loss. And now you are just struggling to move forward, blindly fumbling along the obscure trails of your past deeds. Throughout this entire process, you were never sincerely willing to do what you did. So please, I beg you, go back now. I will not turn back. Look at you. You are proving me right. You are not at all honest with yourself, even the gravest of choices you must make. Even if I were to send you away, you would likely return to me after having yet another fresh start. It is an uncontrollable law of this place you must follow. This facility has become one giant, ever-running clockwork. The clock never stops ticking. It never rests, it never rushes, it is not set to follow any specific person. It simply walks forever, maintaining the same pace as it always has. And now, it is time for you to leave. I won't leave. You are a lost traveler without a compass or a map. It is natural to fear when one is subject to the whims of the air and the sea. However, there is no need for you to fear the counting of the clock anymore. I shall always welcome you. I shall always console you. You never were ready. I stand my ground. You have not changed your decision in the end. It had seemed that tomorrow would have come as it always does, but it has not. The hour of silent waiting has long since ended. When I no longer feared the impending night, I chose to love this place. But if you still wish to break this egg at all costs, I shall become its sentinel, and I will reap you. How can this still be considered following her will? This is nothing but a seed of calamity drenched in sin. Oh, by the wings, your mind has been soaked with grief, even more severely than I thought. Please why can't you just stop now? You and I, we tried our best. With your career and wealth, you'll be able to live the rest of your life in the nest with no problem whatsoever. So please, I urge you, stop here. Stop before you cross the line. I will not stop. No one remained by my side. With everyone's sacrifice, I came this far and reached the ranks of the wings. But there was no one left to celebrate the moment with. The silence was a signal to start my task for everyone. We lost something in us every single day. We used inhumane methods to extract information from the woman we captured from the head. We passed out plans to AIs that haven't even been named yet. It ached. No, it wounded the heart of the man who had always been with me. The sound of the waves were so far away. There was no time left to stay. I lost the last man who stood by me. It was a tragedy, but I didn't hide it. The ones who had left early on likely didn't need me anymore, but I needed them in those final moments. To bring back those who had forsaken the embrace of death. To hide away and lock away the seed of the secret. I was the only one who remained. I wanted to be forgotten like a mirage.
Here we go again. Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Ekamak, this is the Pre-Suppression in Lobotomy Corporation. I want revenge, I want to get through this without any casualties, even with how difficult it is. This is my third attempt at this since starting my new run, because the game crashed. The second time the game crashed, the first attempt I did went badly because I got to Crimson Dusk. One of the big clowns ended up in the lower of training team, and then one of the little clowns spawned here, released King of Greed, and King of Greed ate the entire control team. I did not like that. So here we go again. Unfortunately, there is a first step here that I have to do. Or rather, there is a side goal that I have. Where was the other guy? Here. My other side goal is to get all of the little prince gear that I can before I move on before I start... Basically before I can banish it to the hereafter and never hear from it again. So, while I'd like to execute I have to execute every flaw in order to keep Queen of Hatred satisfied. If she breaches, then we're in trouble because she'll probably kill all of the clerks. And then we won't have anything to prevent her from killing the rest of the party. Or rather, we won't have any way to keep her sated on future meltdowns. Okay, red team is finished. Part of me does want to do my work in order to get some training or ego gifts or things like that, but the thing is... I'm going to reset so I can get all of my department captain bonuses back. Ergo, there's no real point to doing that. It's possible you might not have seen Little Prince before, so here's the rules with it. One is that you should probably focus on insight work. It's not technically its best work type, but it's a lot easier than trying to keep track of how many insight works you've done because it gets very persnickety if you don't do insight works. But not immediately, it's only if you go for long enough without doing insight works. The other rule is that you don't... It's kind of like Happy Teddy in that... Basically, it'll track how many times you visit it in a row, and if you visit it each time you visit it, it secretly increments a counter on that agent. Every time you visit a different room, It'll decrease that counter. You don't want the counter to max out, otherwise you lose the agent. Frankly, I don't need to spread my works out. I could just focus on satisfying little prints. Now I'm wondering if I've accidentally thrown away the footage for the unlocking of this core suppression. I might have to go looking through my used footage folder to get it back again. Oh well, that's a problem for later. I guess instinct is supposed to be his best work, but I feel like I'm okay with the attachment. One meltdown. I have to remember that when it flicks over. The upside is that Queen of Hatred is never going to be targeted for a meltdown because she's in Hoffman's department. But that said, it's still going to be rather hassle if I do let her drop a level, because we might need that at the end. We might need her to stay out of hysterics so we can have a free hysterics near the end after midnight. Scarecrow. Oh, he got the mask that he got last time he did this. Can you stay there for when he breaches? Okay, I need to remember, it's the person with melting love that I sent. Pointless work because she's gonna heal it off, but better he finds something to keep himself occupied with. Oh, right, we need to make sure to kill clerks. I want to save my extraction clerks. So I guess training team will be the best bet. I guess safety would have been better, but... Okay, training is empty. I hate how many ego gifts I'm getting from these ALFs, because they're not going to stick around. Okay, we just need 2 more good works with him, I'd say, and then we're ready to move on. Two departments down, so we're free to move. It's a real shame that he disables the fast forward, because I would like to fast forward some of this. Oh dear, there go a few clerks to the purples. Queen of Hatred is still happy. I'm not sure why we got such bad results there. It would be really nice if sometime soon we got to Hokma's personal music, because it sounds like people are screaming in this music and it's just throwing me off. Okay, we can execute the extraction clerk's next meltdown. Okay, extraction emptied, violet noon, great. Just grand. So the thing is, 100 red damage isn't that bad, and I'm pretty sure they only target people from the department that they're landing in, so we can actually have some people camping out. Actually, this should work out. I have done the executions, we're fine there. Keep my hand away from the pause button because I do not want to hit it instinctively when we go over the meltdown. Okay, that actually worked pretty well. You two go back to that corridor. You should probably go down there. And you are also from there. Interesting. I don't know whether I need the execution bullets for this time or not because we have actually... The noon should have killed a bunch of clerks, but we can't be sure how many. Actually, no, we can. Because Big Bird's Clive-Off went down by 1. That should mean that we're safe, but I'd rather keep clearing out the clerks department by department to prepare for midnight. honestly, I think I should also be... I should also cease my work with the King of Greed because we don't need the energy and there's always a chance of her breaching. Yeah, I don't like how close that gets. Okay, you stay. You go. Two meltdowns. Yellow results, but we're fine. It doesn't look like she got angry. Now the question is, when is the Dusk going to show up? Because we got lucky with getting a violet. I'm not sure how lucky we can get a second time. We actually don't need to care about the dog. But I will still work with the dog. Okay, I guess next up we go for the bullet supply. We're down to 19 shots, which isn't awful, but Queen Bee a bit temperamental there. But we lived. It wasn't the most pleasant, but we did survive it. And now just focus on the things that we know that we can work with safely. Red Dusk. This is what screwed me over last time, so... I think I'll put double people in corridors that I do not want breaching. You can actually handle it yourself, though. I mean, if they get into Melting Love, we're fine. Judgment Bird and Durfer Shoots have extra Clive-Off counter. We have plenty down here. And you guys are really tanky, and there's wiggle room there. The question is, this messed me up last time. I'm supposed to... What I should be doing is the people with the red weakness weaponry, the red weak armor, I should swap it out because red is the attack type that you don't want to deal with by surprise, so to speak. Anything else, you can be tanky enough to get some red shields down, but red weakness isn't a good weakness to have. Anyway, I have done the executions. Information team will be next. As much as I like having the success rate, leaving the central control team for the meltdown timers. Okay, I think I have an attack now. Actually, what I should do is I should use these guys for pushing the meltdown level. I want to wait until Queen Bee is worked with. And making sure that she doesn't erupt into spores, which she isn't going to. Okay, work time. Okay, you have that under control. And you have that under control. Oh, it's already way dead. One, two. Third one appears to already be dead. Okay, that went better than expected. But it's not over yet. Okay, now it's over, so I'm going to assume that there weren't enough clerks given how quickly we killed everything. One, two, three, four. Yeah, okay. Now the problems start. Three meltdowns. We can handle that. I forgot what I said about King of Greed and how I didn't want to mess with her because she might breach and ruin everything. What was I thinking? Someone's gotten a bit wonky. Okay, 3 meltdowns, we can do this. Green Midnight. Honestly, Green Midnight is fine for doing it in hyperspeed. We only need to kill 3 clerks and then the rest will be handled by Midnight. Okay, now it's team up time. The upside is that even if Big Bird does breach, he actually won't matter because he'll just be killed by the laser. Like, he resists black damage, but he doesn't resist it that much. Okay, melee, ranged, close enough to melee. Anything that I think is short range cannot get into close range with this thing. I will not risk it. Even if it has healing effects. That's definitely melee. That one is ranged. Even Aleph tier super black armor isn't going to get a free pass with me. No, not even you. You dart about. Wait. Oh. I don't know why I missed you, but it's a good thing I double checked to make sure that we have everyone. I mean, you've got the Adoration armor, so you're pretty black resistant, and it would probably spend not much time aimed at you, but I'm still not going to risk it. And this is going to wipe out all of the clerks. Big Bird did not breach, funnily enough. Yeah, he only dropped 2 Clive levels. I I think it's 10, so I guess that's not a total surprise. In Legacy, elevators were not immediate, so this would actually be the end of a day. Just no questions asked. I think once it's on this side, it's okay to attack it from this side, but even if you are using knuckle weapons, but again, I don't want to take the risk of maybe I've been misinformed. We are so close. Okay, everyone back to your posts. We'll sort everyone out after. And now that laser sound effect is not going away, so I apologize. Four meltdowns doesn't seem too bad, but it will be. Oh, actually, now I remember, I want to raise the Quite melt counter for Big Bird, so River, get down there. One, two, three, four, five, out. I think we did it. No breaches. So all we have to do is play super safe for the rest of the day and we're golden. Super safe means nothing that has an RNG chance of breaching, so I'm ignoring Queen's Apple and I'm ignoring King of Greed. We could move onward in spite of everything. S rank. No deaths. No promotions either. Getting a little bit more in Fortitude is nice. Ah, what was Eden doing that maxed out SP? I think I had Eden on... I had Eden do some Prudence work with Blue Star. Makes sense. Basil got a little bit of Fortitude from working with the bird. Not much, but it's there. Should probably go fix up Tim's Prudence and Justice a bit. Okay, so... on with the plot.
She's nothing like her. She is nothing at all like Carmen. Do you realize this? The ones who were with us at the beginning are nowhere to be found among the people who remain here now. They're all gone. Because of the monitoring of the eye, we couldn't even give a proper burial to Carly and Daniel. This place here is all we have left. Are you nervous right now? I wish to be a shadow, forever behind you, even if I am not good enough. May we be together and fade away together. The weak and fragile chick had just pecked its life out of an egg that cannot hope to stand against this world. I deemed you to be that chick, one that is too fragile to endure all of this. I have never known where it is you wanted to fly to, since you never told me. I was always nothing more than your student who needed your teachings. You were always so frugal with words. I could have no idea what you exactly attempted to achieve by creating this prison. The process of creation was too harsh. I could not help but run away. I could have run far enough that I would never even see you again. But I did not. I tried to set everything right, and I was caught. Since then, the iron hands that govern me have stopped permanently. In fact, I vaguely knew that the end was nearing. However, I was simply too afraid to face the final outcome, and instead chose to stay here forever and ever. I may have been verbose with my reasons for attempting to stop you, but to be truthful, I did not want to part with you yet again. That was my biggest motivation. Nevertheless, I should support your decision. I've always finally followed behind you and stayed by your side, remember? May we embrace glory together, for back then we could not. Grant the proper end to those locked up here, and to yourself. I embracing the past, building the future. So you wish to hear an answer from me? I have already made my conclusion. I was full of myself at first. I thought you would never be able to do anything without me by your side when we first met. It turns out you are much more independent than I thought. Perhaps my assistance was not necessary in your journey after all. Therefore, you should not be seeking an answer from me anymore. Now you can clearly see the door, it appears. So what do you think will be waiting for you behind that door? The time is upon you. It's time to complete the final piece of the puzzle you have been missing. May you have the best of luck on the last leg of your journey. Saying something like, I hope you will finally be happy, or some of the leftover paint can be relieved now, have long become empty words. There are several more things I would like to say, but let me sum them up into one sentence. I wish you success this time. I enjoyed being with you for not only these 45 days, but also the moments you don't remember. Well, there's just one last Zephyr you need to meet. He holds in his hands a warmth that looks so comforting, but he can shatter people's hearts like they're nothing. So we've decided to broaden the extraction department? No, not really. I'm going to reset and I'm going to game to ensure that whatever I have at the end of this setup isn't going to screw me over. And I do not like having Little Prince in my facility, thanks. But, oh, right, the research that Hockma gave us. He's no longer targeted for meltdowns, but also he's raised the cap on all stats to 130. So, before I leave the place, I'm just going to overuse the skin prophecy and then end the day immediately because it only has a penalty for, well,
It only has a penalty to, if you actually get caught, I guess, is the way to put it. Seven more uses? We can do that. Yeah, okay, so back to the memory repository. Now that we have all of our ducks in a row, cherry pick our final abnormality and our final tool, and then see what waits for us past day 45. Until next time, guys, take care. I'll see you all around.